Insider Secrets to the SBC Summary of Benefits and Coverage teaches you shortcuts and insider tricks to find the hot button stuff like office visits, prescription drugs, and other coverages. This is not a comprehensive guide. When you're trying to compare health plans, you may have experienced brochure burnout. Too much information. The Affordable Care Act now requires all health plans to use a standard summary of benefits and coverage so it's easier for you to compare plans. Let's check it out. Let's compare two health plans using the new summary of benefits and coverage step by step. Stick with me as we read a summary of benefits and coverage, or SBC. You'll see how easy they are to read, and you'll also see a couple of surprises too. Here we go, super fast. We'll get into the details later. Look at any SBC, and the very first line is always the deductible. This plan has a $1,500 deductible before the plan pays for covered services. But look at the very next page. Office visits are $30 and not subject to the deductible. So you can visit a physician for $30 without having to pay the $1,500 deductible. And if you go forward one more page, to page 3, you can also get prescription drugs for $10. Again, not subject to the deductible. So on this health plan, you'll get office visits for $30, prescriptions for $10, before you have to pay the $1,500 deductible. There are more benefits available to you before you pay copays or deductibles. The Affordable Care Act provides even more benefits for all adults and specific benefits for women and for children. All of these benefits by law with no copay and no deductible. So let's go back to the top of page 1. Remember that $1,500 deductible? Exactly when do you pay that? The answer is anytime something goes wrong. So if you have a fever, if you have a headache, if you have symptoms, if you need surgery, lab, x-ray, anything past a normal routine office visit or a screening or wellness treatment, you're going to pay on your deductible. Let's look at the SBC for a different health plan. This health plan is from the same company, but the deductible is different on this plan. This one has a $2,700 deductible. So let's do what we did before. We see the $2,700 deductible on page 1. Let's go to page 2 and see how much for a doctor visit. On page 2 we see no charge, but after the $2,700 deductible. And going ahead again to page 3, we see generic drugs are $10, but after the $2,700 deductible. This plan is very different from the first plan we reviewed. So why would a person choose one plan over the other? Both plans include all of the wellness that is mandated by the Affordable Care Act. The first plan has physician office visits for $30 copay and also generic drugs for $10 copay, no deductible. So if you think you might need office visits other than annual wellness, you may prefer the first plan. The second plan also has all of the annual wellness benefits too, but office visits and prescriptions are both subject to the deductible. So you choose what fits you best. If you rarely visit the doctor, but you want the annual wellness benefit, you might prefer the second plan.